Well, good morning. Yes, you can call me Aunt Jemima. I thought because you had all the right equipment now, maybe a little bit of tutorial on this stuff would help you a little bit. So, you got the Rowenta board and you got the Rowenta iron. The first thing I guess maybe just to say is this thing is really easy to put up like that. You know, it's just this little release mechanism. Put it down, and then of course get it to whatever height's the best for you. Like this is a little bit high. I tend to, you know, you get your iron and you just don't want to lift your arm up too much. So anyway, just the height is pretty easy. One of the cool things that I liked about these is the, you know, the design obviously, but you can get some really nice covers for these things. Unfortunately, this is an older one. I wanted to get a cover that was blue and had with surfing and waves and all that, but anyhow, so kind of to get started, you always want to make sure your iron's set at the right temperature, and generally, you know, mine's all the way up at the high point place where it would be for cottons and things that I'm going to iron, and the only time I ever go down really low here is if you have synthetic materials, or like some of my silk Tommy Bahamas don't like to be too hot, so just be careful of that. And then also just make sure you get used to putting the iron like that instead of like that sometimes. So basically, I usually have a little setup. I have the TV going. I don't have it going right now, but basically I start by just, the shirt needs to be unbuttoned all the way. And so basically what I do is I just have, this is the inside of the shirt. Sometimes I just sort of hold it like this. But like I told you, I always end up with just this little squirt bottle. And just sort of lightly do that. The neck area. Put it on the inside. And so on my shirts, most of the time, the part that needs to be ironed the most is usually around the buttons. So what I tend to do is, you know, use the full length of this board, which now that you've got a nice board, you know, just lay the whole thing out here. Alright, and then just, you know, get stuff laid out here and just move it on down. Get on the inside here. Sort of none of this wiggling stuff. People tend to use the tip to drive along or something. I don't know. I don't really do that. But just, you know, you get to the point where you can see what you're doing. Then I just work the shirt. So I did that part. Now I'll just go up here to the collar section. Bring it out there so the whole collar is exposed. You don't have to reposition it a million times. Bang on that. So I'm still on the inside here, you see. But I'm just going to go around the shirt on the inside just to get things, maybe because you can see it better, the fabric, but you know, you can whip this out. So now I've done the inside, so now I'll just flip it over. And what you can do is see how the way irons have that little rounded tip is so you could stick stuff on it like this. You just make sure that you got your bottom right the way that was. Get that done. And then you see the seam of the shirt, so you can, what I tend to do is just move it like this. So I'm going to get the lower portion of the first side done. The back, again, you just use the front of the board to get it set up, and you see you've got your little, in the back of men's shirt they have this little crease. So what I tend to do is just on the crease, bring it down. You know, you gotta just move through it. It's no biggie. Now we're back onto the side that was on the front. Again, sort of use the geometric design of the board. To get you set up. you saw me do the inside, so I generally fold the collar to where it's supposed to be, turn it around so the outside of the shirt is, and then I sort of just do one half of the collar at a time. So the collar likes to be all sharp right here in the corner. The middle of the collar doesn't matter that much. I tend to just like ignore that. And just get around and position the other side. So that's done except for the sleeves. The trick with the sleeves here is you'll see there's a seam on the bottom under the armpit, and usually not one at the top. So I fold the seam on the bottom, just even out the material. That one's done. Again, take the seam that's in the armpit, fold it out to straight, put it to be done. Done. Ta-da! And there you have it. All ready to wear to work. Yeah.